In this module, you will learn about the human environment. This is the Great Barrier Reef off the coast of Australia. Thousands of tourists come here every year to experience the colourful world it hides beneath the surface. The Great Barrier Reef is one of the richest and most complex ecosystems in the world. It is made up of millions of microorganisms called polyps and supports a wide variety of fish, turtles, and 30 species of whales, dolphins, porpoises, and birds. But what do we mean by an ecosystem? The relationship or interaction between living beings and non-living beings in a natural environment forms an ecosystem. All elements of a natural environment interact with each other and are often dependent on each other in some way or the other. All the organisms in an ecosystem are linked by transfer of energy and material. For example, the seabirds on the reef prey on the fish, while some varieties of fish feed on the coral polyps. Some of the physical and chemical factors or the non-living elements that form part of this ecosystem are light, oxygen, and saline water. An ecosystem may be as large as a desert or as small as a puddle. For example, the environment of a lake forms an ecosystem. In the lake ecosystem, sunlight filters through the water and helps the algae underwater to grow. These algae provide oxygen for the fish and food for the microscopic animals. The microscopic organisms that eat algae are food for the fish in the lake. The fish absorb oxygen through their gills and release carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide is used by plants for their growth. So, as you can see, all these organisms in the ecosystem of the lake are dependent on each other for their growth. Human environment can be described as the interaction between human beings and the environment. Human interaction with the environment can impact ecosystems in a variety of ways. If you look around, you will find that we have modified our environment in so many ways to suit our needs. For example, in 1936, the Hoover Dam was built in Black Canyon of the Colorado River in the USA. This dam was proposed as a solution to the water shortage faced by the states of Arizona and Nevada. Although it solved the problem in the short run for the residents of these two states, the US government had not thought of the impact the dam would have on the environment in the long run. The river started to dry up before reaching the delta, as most of its water drained into the man-made reservoir Lake Mead. This resulted in the death of many species of fish that were native to the Colorado River. We must strive to sustain our environment by maintaining a balance between the natural and human environments. In one of the earlier modules, you learned about the different types of environment: natural, human, and human-made. Human-made and human environment sound similar. Well, human-made environment consists of non-living things that are the result of human activities. The human environment, as you just learned, is the interaction between human beings and the environment. When human beings come in contact with the natural environment, they try to modify it to meet their requirements. Let's look at how our environment has evolved over time. In prehistoric times, human beings learned to adapt to their natural environment. They led a simple life and obtained food by gathering nuts, plants, and berries. In time, the needs of human beings became more complex. They started hunting for food. They began to build shelters and used different materials to clothe themselves. As time went by, human beings began to grow crops and started living in communities. They domesticated animals to help them in farming activities. The invention of the wheel led to the evolution of transport. Once settlements came into existence, human beings began to trade articles among themselves. This was called barter trade. For example, a person needing a cow could exchange his bags of wheat for a cow. Slowly, trade using money started replacing the barter system. Then came the Industrial Revolution, as goods needed to be produced on a large scale to meet the growing needs of human beings. The invention of faster modes of transport led to the further development of trade. These days, human beings are witnessing the information revolution that brought with it telecommunication and the Internet. This has made communication even faster and smoother than before. Thus, over time, human-made environmental elements have taken over our lives to a great extent. In this module, you learned that the relationship or interaction between living beings and non-living beings in a natural environment forms an ecosystem. It is important to maintain a balance between the natural and human environments. Human beings modify the environment to suit their needs. The human environment consists of objects that are the result of human activities.